threaten our online safety every day? Our digital landscape is a battleground where unseen warriors constantly engage in a relentless tug of war. On one end, we have cybersecurity experts striving to fortify our online walls. On the other end, hackers, armed with a range of web attacks, trying to breach these defenses. Understanding these attacks is not merely a matter of curiosity. It's crucial for everyone who interacts with the digital world, whether you're a savvy IT professional or just an everyday internet user. In this video, we'll explore the most prevalent types of web attacks. We'll dissect their mechanisms, their impact, and the measures to counteract them. From phishing to SQL injections, cross-site scripting to distributed denial of service attacks, we've got a lot to cover. So, brace yourself as we delve into the murky world of web attacks. Phishing attacks, a prevalent threat in the digital space. Picture this. You receive an email that appears to be from your bank, urging you to update your personal information due to a security breach. The message looks legitimate, complete with official logos and a professional tone. You click the link provided and enter your details, only to find out later that you've been a victim of a phishing attack. Phishing, in its most basic form, is a type of cyber attack that uses disguised email as a weapon. The goal is to trick the email recipient into believing that the message is something they want or need, a request from their bank, for instance, or a note from someone in their company, and to click a link or download an attachment. What really distinguishes phishing is the form the message takes. The attacker masquerades as a trusted entity and fools the victim into opening an email, instant message, or text message. The recipient is then tricked into clicking a malicious link, which can lead to the installation of malware, the freezing of the system as part of a ransomware attack, or the revealing of sensitive information. So, why are phishing attacks dangerous? Well, they exploit the most vulnerable aspect of any security system, human nature. We're inclined to trust, and attackers take advantage of this. They can gain access to personal data like credit card numbers, social security numbers, and login credentials. Once the attacker has this information, they can commit identity theft, drain bank accounts, or sell the information to other criminals. Phishing attacks are not just a threat to individuals, but also to organizations. They can lead to significant financial loss, data breaches, and damage to the organization's reputation. To protect yourself, be wary of any unsolicited communications requesting sensitive information. Always verify the source before clicking on any links or downloading attachments, and trust your instinct. If something seems off, it probably is. Remember, when in doubt, don't click that link. Next on our list, the notorious SQL injection attacks. SQL, or structured query language, is the standard language for managing data held in a relational database management system. An SQL injection attack happens when an attacker is able to manipulate an SQL query. It's a bit like a Trojan horse, sneaking malicious code through the gates of your database. Imagine you have an online form, and a user is expected to enter their username. Instead, they enter a piece of SQL code. If your system is not properly secured, that code could be executed, leading to all sorts of havoc. The attacker could view, manipulate, or even delete data. The potential damage of an SQL injection attack is huge. It can lead to data breaches, loss of sensitive information, and even complete system takeover. And it's not just big corporations that are at risk. Any website or application that doesn't properly validate input data is a potential target. So what's the solution? Well, it's all about validation and sanitization. Validation is about checking user input to make sure it's what you're expecting. A username, for example, should not contain SQL commands. Sanitization is about cleaning up that input before it's processed. This might involve stripping out or replacing characters that have special meaning in SQL. There are also specific tools and techniques to guard against SQL injection attacks, such as parameterized queries and stored procedures. These can help to ensure that SQL commands are executed safely, without any unexpected surprises. SQL injection attacks are a reminder of the importance of robust security measures. They show us that we need to be vigilant and proactive in protecting our systems and data. Because in the digital world, just like in the physical world, there are always those who will seek to exploit any weakness they can find, so always be cautious with your database interactions. Cross-site scripting, or XSS, a cunning tactic used by cybercriminals. Diving into the world of web hacking, we often come across a term that sends shivers down the spine of every web developer: cross-site scripting, or as it's commonly known, XSS. But what is it really? Imagine a city where the buildings have no locks, no security systems, nothing to keep out unwanted visitors. That's the internet without proper security measures, and XSS is the burglar that exploits this vulnerability. Cross-site scripting is a type of security vulnerability typically found in web applications. It allows attackers to inject malicious scripts into web pages viewed by other users. This nefarious activity is done by taking advantage of the trust a user has for a certain website. The attacker uses this trust to execute malicious scripts in the user's browser, which can lead to a variety of damaging outcomes. Now you might be thinking, what kind of harm can this cause? Well, the potential damage from XSS is vast. It can lead to identity theft, financial loss, and even the compromise of an entire web application. It's like letting a fox loose in a henhouse. The results can be catastrophic. The most common type of XSS is stored XSS, where the malicious script is permanently stored on the target server. When a user accesses the affected page, the script is served as part of the web page. Imagine opening your front door only to find an intruder already inside your home. That's stored XSS for you. Another type of XSS is reflected XS. In this case, the user unknowingly sends the malicious script to the server via a link, which reflects it back to their browser. It's akin to inviting the burglar into your home yourself. So how can we protect ourselves from these digital burglars? Secure coding practices are the key. By validating and sanitizing user inputs, we can effectively lock our digital doors and keep the burglars at bay. Secure coding practices are your best defense against XSS. Lastly, the disruptive distributed denial of service attacks. These attacks, often abbreviated as DDoS, are a bit like the digital equivalent of a traffic jam. They are designed to overwhelm a system's resources, making it difficult, if not impossible, for legitimate users to gain access. DDoS attacks are typically carried out using a network of remotely controlled, hacked computers or bots. This network, known as a botnet, is directed to send a flood of traffic to a targeted system. The sheer volume of requests overwhelms the system, causing it to slow down significantly or crash altogether. Now you might be thinking, why would someone do this? Well, the motivations behind DDoS attacks can vary widely. Some attackers may be motivated by a desire to cause mischief, while others might be looking to disrupt a competitor's operations. Some DDoS attacks even serve as a distraction, diverting attention away from other more insidious cybercrimes. The damage caused by DDoS attacks can be extensive. Beyond the immediate inconvenience to users, these attacks can result in significant financial losses, especially if they target commercial websites. Moreover, the resources required to mitigate the effects of a DDoS attack can be substantial. Often, it involves not only restoring the affected systems, but also implementing measures to prevent future attacks. However, it's not all doom and gloom. With advances in technology, there are now more ways than ever to protect against DDoS attacks. These include traffic filtering to identify and block malicious data, and scalable cloud solutions that can absorb the excess traffic generated by a DDoS attack. In conclusion, DDoS attacks are a potent tool in the arsenal of cybercriminals. They highlight a critical vulnerability in our increasingly interconnected digital world, the ease with which a large volume of traffic can disrupt a system. But remember, with awareness and the right protective measures, we can all play a part in mitigating their impact. DDoS attacks, a reminder that sometimes quantity over quality can indeed be destructive. From phishing to DDoS, we've seen a range of attacks that can turn our digital world upside down. Let's take a quick stroll down memory lane. Phishing attacks, the digital version of a con artist, trick us into revealing sensitive information. SQL injection attacks exploit vulnerabilities in our database queries, a chink in the armor, if you will. Then we have cross-site scripting, or XSS, where malicious scripts are injected into trusted websites. And finally, the distributed denial of service attacks, the digital equivalent of a traffic jam, overwhelming servers and causing a shutdown. These are but a few examples of the myriad ways our digital fortresses can be breached. But fear not, understanding these threats is the first step towards securing our digital world. As our digital footprint expands, so must our knowledge and vigilance. So, stay vigilant, stay safe, and remember, Knowledge is your best defense in the digital world.